Even as the latest Omicron strain of COVID-19 has spooked markets around the world, freight rates between China and the United States could hit new highs. The Baltic Dry Index, which tracks freight prices across major shipping routes, has seen a major rebound over the last few days to end at a monthly high of 3,047 points, posting gains for 5 straight sessions. Not to be outdone, the Panamax Index, which tracks freight movement of coal and food grains, posted a 3.1% spike to register a 3-week high of 2,897 points. You're watching Procurement Shorts, your one-stop shop for all that you need to know about global procurements and supply chains. While surface transport between nations hasn't been halted yet, the US and multiple other countries have imposed air traffic restrictions over South Africa and neighboring countries. Incidentally, the US reported its first ever case of the Omicron variant on Wednesday, with the Center for Disease Control confirming that the patient in question has displayed only mild symptoms. Weeks after the US government announced it would procure sizable doses of Pfizer's new COVID-19 pill to treat 10 million future patients, the Biden administration is all set to increase America's vaccine production footprint. What this means is that America will spend billions of dollars to expand vaccine manufacturing within the US, with the aim of producing at least 1 billion doses a year by the second half of 2022. The move comes amid growing fears of another COVID wave, as cases in the US have displayed a spike with the approaching winter months. The government recently spent over $3 billion to procure rapid over-the-counter tests as the country's healthcare infrastructure prepares to counter new cases and fast-track treatment procedures. American car makers may be announcing new electric vehicle launches by the week with the goal of winning the electrification race, but the National Mining Association says it simply isn't enough. While President Biden has set goals for EV deployment over the next decade, gaping holes in the domestic supply chain and procurement policies have caused some experts to raise questions over whether the country will, in fact, hit these targets. In a recently published opinion piece, Rich Nolan, the president and CEO of the association, said, and I quote, "There is an alarming disconnect between the mineral demand the U.S. energy policy is driving and the policies needed to meet it. Fully electrifying the U.S. car fleet would have increases of 127%, 245%, and 114% of global nickel, lithium, and cobalt production from 2019. The failure to set up a secure domestic supply chain supported by policies to quickly respond to demand signals can run the risk of troubling developments." End quote. Nolan called for the US government to make mining policy the foundation of its effort to produce emission-free cars in the next 9 years, even as semiconductor shortages and rising battery prices are impediments to these efforts. Czech automobile manufacturer Škoda Auto is giving its procurement policy a bit of a relook. The car maker says it's all set to lay greater emphasis on buying recycled and recyclable raw material, which it believes is apparently in line with what its customers want. Carsten Schnacky, a board member at Škoda's purchasing division, said, and I quote, "As the largest private sector company in the Czech Republic and as a good corporate citizen, we want to set the benchmark in sustainability. We can only achieve this if we also consistently and holistically involve our partners in supply chain management right from the start." End quote. This means Škoda will explore new business models and be on the lookout for new partners, especially within the startup ecosystem. Some of the key priorities for Škoda will include manufacturing within the circular economy, cost efficiency, environmentally friendly sourcing, and notching up new sustainability goals. As supply chain pressures continue to persist around the world, most businesses are set to pay more for packaging. European packaging companies have reported major challenges in the last few weeks, especially to do with narrowing profit margins, delays caused by the shipping logjam, and reports of conflict responsibility over customer satisfaction. What's worsened the situation is an input cost increase when it comes to chemicals like starch, that has seen prices up by 30% year on year. Not to be left out, pulp prices have also seen prices up by 50% in the same period, even as paper prices have more than doubled. The ripple effects are for all to see. The European Carton Makers Association recently warned that high costs and unstable raw material supply will lead to inordinate delays. Incidentally, a surge in consumer demand for fiber-based packaging has seen cardboard mills in Europe with record delays of between 12 and 20 weeks. That's a wrap on this edition of Procurement Shorts. Check out BureauLive.ai for more news and updates. Goodbye for now.